Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Rakaya and welcome. I'm Rachael Ramahi. I am a senior in high school. I go to Crestwood High School, which is all the way in Michigan. I have been a member with NSHSS for almost 4 years now. I've been an ambassador for almost 3 years. I've been an ambassador for 3 years this October. And I play soccer. Well, I used to. Currently, there is no soccer due to our current situation. Yeah, I guess Presley can introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Presley. I go to Ponte Vedra High School in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, which is near Jacksonville, one of the hot spots right now. I'm in 11th grade, so I'm a junior, and this is my third year being in the society, but now this is my first year being an ambassador. So I'm on the girls' weightlifting team, and it actually is still being planned to go forward, but my school just had an outbreak, so we're not really sure now.
Okay, Inyam, I guess you can present yourself.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Inyam Ricketts, and welcome. I'm a homeschooled senior in high school, and I'm from Fruit Cove, Florida. And I take classes from Mother of Divine Grace School, which is a private school in California. And I also do dual enrollment with University of North Florida and Brigham Young University. And I got involved with NSHSS as a sophomore, so it's been about 2.5 years now. In my junior year, I decided to be an ambassador for an NSHSS. And I can say that through the ambassadorship, I've been motivated to do more and be more involved. Now, as for my sport, I do rowing, also known as crew, which I've participated in for the past 6 years. And I mean, if you know any rowing, I do port and starboard and scull, sweep, and sometimes cocks. And I look forward to our discussion.
Okay, guys, so how is your schools handling, sports with the current situations with COVID? I know my school still has sports opened. Some were canceled because you couldn't maintain distance, and I guess there was also an outbreak. But like other sports, like cross country, for instance, they're still open. They just 6 feet apart. Tennis is still open. Football, surprisingly, is still open. And volleyball is actually canceled, so that's sad. But yeah, you guys can share.
Um,
Oh, you want to go?
no, you can go. You're good.
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go on.
Okay. All right. Well, I row with a private team, so it's separate from any of the schools in my area, and we haven't really been able to meet together since the spring. And the U.S. Rowing Nation has either canceled or postponed a lot of the upcoming regattas that we would usually have in the fall. And prepare for the fall season, I've just been doing strength training at home.
My school, let's see. So yeah, football's still open just like you, and they closed a lot of the sports, but everything they reopened the school as if nothing was happening. So most sports are still happening. All the sports that are supposed to be in season right now, they're going through with it. They try to wear masks if possible in like the weight rooms and anywhere when they're indoors for like basketball or stuff like that. But of course, like there are students that sometimes don't go by those guidelines. But when they're on the field, they don't wear masks. If it's an outdoor sport like cross country, like you said, yeah, there's no masks involved because usually, when it's outside, it's not spreading as much and the open air is a lot safer. So I think that my school's been trying to, do the best that they can to still keep the students engaged in their sports, but then again, also try to keep everybody safe. So I don't know if anybody wants to comment on that, on like what precautions they're taking at all. But mine are pretty lenient.
For us, it's not that lenient. So for football, because my brother is actually playing football this season, you're not even allowed to go on the field. So first they do the test and everything, like a rapid test. They ask you questions, they check they monitor your signals, and if you're good, then you can go in only if you have a mask. And in order to play in the game, you have to be wearing a mask and like protective face shield and everything. So we're very strict. Okay, if you guys don't have any further comments, I'll just go on to the second question, I guess. All right. So why did you guys choose to play sports that you guys played? I know I chose mine because it's kind of a long story. I'll summarize it. I started playing when I was in middle school, and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And the first sport I tried out for was basketball, and they told me that I wasn't allowed to play just because I had that one thing that just like separated me from everyone else. But I trained hard, and then in the spring, because for us soccer is in the spring, um, I joined, and then they tried to kick me off the team again, but luckily I had my doctor on my side, and they're like, no, she can play. And so ever since sixth grade, I've been playing. Yeah. So Presley, you can talk.
I love that. That's actually really inspiring because I'm somebody who, um, I don't know, I love sports, but whenever I participate in them, I almost get tired of them. Like I have a very small attention span for sports for some reason. So if I'm not automatically amazing at it, sometimes I kind of get, like discouraged. But that's really inspiring hearing your story. Um, I chose girls weightlifting only last year actually because I am a feminist and the boys weightlifting team is really successful. They win awards, they go to competitions, but we just recently opened the girls weightlifting team, and I thought that was an amazing opportunity to get something bigger started at our school to encourage the girls at our school, to rise up there with them. And so far, all the girls are super excited about it. Everybody's super encouraging, and it's just like a really good way to build a community. And I think that's why I wanted to join so bad because it was just a really supportive group of girls. So
That's amazing. I like your story way more than mine.
Yeah, you guys have such amazing experiences, really inspiring stories. Um, as for me, well, I chose rowing because I am a naturally very reserved person. And when I joined in the fifth grade, I had tried just about every other sport out there, like soccer to badminton, because as you said, Presley, it's the same situation with me. You know, didn't really take much of an interest when I tried it all the other sports at first. And so when I tried rowing, it put me in a position where I would have to lead because whatever seat you're in when you do rowing, you're to set a good example for the person behind you. And of course, if you're the coxswain at the directing everywhere, you have to lead the boat, you know. And even if you're at the very front of the boat and there's no one else behind you, sometimes you have to help the coxswain because you're at the front of the boat. There's no one else in your way to look behind you. So you also have every opportunity to lead, no matter what spot you are in the boat. And I just thought, um, what a really cool sport that it gives everyone the opportunity to, get outside their comfort zone and try to be a leader. So I stuck with it, and apparently I like it because I've been with doing it for 6 years.
That's amazing. 6 years is a lot. I could never. All right. So, have you guys ever been injured in a sport? If not, share how you would deal with it.
I've never had serious injuries in sports because I guess I haven't, maybe stuck with one long enough or got too into it. But I know for weightlifting, when it's off season and you are training, you lift like the heavy weights, the first like 2 weeks, your body is just so sore. Like, because you haven't been used to that like heavy lifting for quite a while. So I remember when I first started, my entire body was so sore, and there's two like stories at my school. Like a lot of schools are like that. So I would have to walk up the stairs after like a day of squatting, and I literally could not make it up the stairs. Like there would be days where I like had to take it step by step. So that was always interesting. Just being sore in general, but honestly, just like refueling, giving your body that protein that it needs. Those are all ways that I just like dealt with it. So
Keep it strong, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, weightlifting, you must be pretty strong to do weightlifting because it sounds like a really intensive sport, wrestling. Um, I've never gotten injured in rowing. Um, However, there are always uh, those times when you, after a really hard workout or a day on the water, when your back starts to hurt because you're using it constantly. I mean, it's a full body workout, arms, back, legs, and your back is really controlling everything else. And, after a while, it really starts to hurt. And to to deal with that and still have to row, you really have to have good form. Um, it might not make it stop hurting, but it helps. And after a while, you start to um, keep that form constant, and every stroke you keep your form, and you know you kind of get used to the back pain. Um, but hopefully that'll be the extent of my injuries.
I bet your arms get sore. Oh my gosh. I feel like you get that arm work in. The same thing goes for weightlifting. Like form is so important, I feel like in most sports. And if your form's wrong, I bet when you're rowing you can injure your back. And that's the same thing with me. Like if you have the wrong form when you're lifting, you can tweak your back in just the right way. So yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, form is I think key for like almost all sports. I'm pretty sure. For soccer, we used to do some weightlifting, not all, mostly for legs because we run a lot. And so yeah, form is key for everything. Well, at least in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to name three things for one to be successful as a student athlete, and then either Pressy or Inyam can share another three things, or both of you guys can share something. I don't think it matters. All right, so I think the top three things to be a successful student athlete would be to, just have a good diet, maintain a good diet. I feel like a diet is really what keeps you motivated and gives you energy. And another thing is to always practice, always like keep working out, even like, so we had, when corona first started spreading, a lot of people just gave up and became couch potatoes basically. And they didn't practice, they didn't work out, they didn't even go out for walks. So that really does affect you, even if it's like not much, it does affect. And third thing I would say is do your homework. For me, we would practice a lot, so like it was like a lot of hours we would practice, and to find time to really study and do homework was very hard, especially since I took AP classes. And so, like, all my classes were college classes. And so, I really needed to find time. So, luckily, I talked to my school. I don't know if you guys can do that. But if you talk to a teacher or like a principal or something, they could give you like a study hour. So, like, just even if it's like half an hour in your schedule where you can study. So, I think the top three things for me is to maintain a healthy diet, keep practicing, and do your homework.
Oh, that's great, Rakaya. I I know as an athlete, it's kind of hard to, pass up the desserts when you know you have to focus on getting stronger. Definitely. Um, I When I was thinking about this question, um, of course, the physical aspects of being an athlete are really important to, maintain your strength and progress in your sport. And I was also thinking about, your mind and your work ethic that you have to maintain to be successful. So I thought that some important values you have to consider are discipline, fortitude, and prudence. And through my experiences in rowing, I've come to learn that these three things are essential to becoming a successful student and athlete. Um, Allow me to explain. So, discipline, to train your mind and your body into a routine that will benefit you in the future. Maybe it's not as comfortable now, it's not preferable now, but trust me, it'll be much better later on. Um, it might mean not going on an outing with friends, because you have practice and you should, focus on your practice if you want to be a better athlete. And likewise, it can also mean not practicing late into the night when you know you have a test for school in the morning. You have to find that balance between both activities. Or, excuse me, also prudence. This is my favorite, I'd say, because it helps you find the right thing to do in these kinds of circumstances, you know? Um, you might feel like you want to do something, uh, and something may seem more important, like, I don't know, going to a social. But, if you're thinking prudently, you'll think, oh, okay, that's fun and it's not something bad, but right now I have other things that I need to focus on. And it allows you to concentrate on what you have to do. And fortitude, very, very important. Because sports aren't easy, sorry. Um, no matter what sport you do, you're always, trying your best and trying to do better than you did before, right? And it gets really hard. It really tests your physical ability. So if you don't have the fortitude to, push on and not just quit after doing it after a while, then you'll be able to succeed. So just thinking about those three things, prudence, fortitude, and discipline, I think that they'll really set you up to be as successful in athletics and academics.
I agree, especially with the time management part. That's, yeah. Presley, would you like to share anything?
I completely agree, both mental and physical, 100%. You need to be there mentally, you need to be there physically. So I agree with what you said.
All right. So this question is to everyone. What does it mean to be a student athlete? So I'll go first. For me, being a student athlete, is really a motivator. It motivates you to just be the best, and it also motivates others, especially when you share your story to other people that might, not know what being a student athlete is or what opportunities come with being a student athlete. So you're not only a leader, but you're also an inspiration to others. So for me, that's what it means to be an athlete.
For me, an athlete is about being on a team. I'm a really individualized person. I like to do things by myself, and I think being on a team with a bunch of people really taught me what teamwork is and how to work with other people to get to, that goal of whatever your team or, what you're striving for. So I think that is what it means to me, just learning to work with others and, eventually become a leader in that group and then to cooperate with the other people um, to be the best, to win the race, whatever the goal is for that sport. So I think that's what it means to me.
Yeah, I was thinking some similar thoughts there. Um, like you guys, I also play a team sport. So I think being an athlete means concentrating on the things that will lead you to your goal and staying strong when you feel like you're at your weakest. I mean, those two things really capture what I've been doing in rowing. Um, and those two virtues I've talked about before, prudence, discipline, and fortitude. Um, I think when you apply those, you're able to be not just like a good athlete, but a successful one that progresses and, is able to persevere. Um, and there's always going to be obstacles in your path as an athlete, whether it's competition, um, and even if you don't have any competition, you're always trying to do better than yourself, right? Or a certain time or a certain pace, whatever it is. And when you are able to surmount those obstacles, you're really doing good right there because you're able to recognize the obstacle, and even though it might seem scary or you're unsure of yourself, which often happens, you're able to put that to the side and say, okay, I'm going to do better. I'm not going to remain in one spot. I'm going to strive for better.
Great answers, everybody. All right. So all right. So are there any benefits for you guys for being a student athlete? For me, basically, I don't really care about the benefits. I mean, there obviously are so many opportunities, such as like I know somebody personally that got a full ride scholarship and now plays for I think it was U of M, Michigan. So I don't know if you've heard of it, but that's like one of the best schools in Michigan. And he got a full ride scholarship and plays as the team as a starter because like he just put in so much effort. Um, it was for basketball. But the second part to this question was if there was any challenges ending up as a blessing in disguise. And I like that part of the question more, so I'm gonna answer that part. So basically, for me, I shared how I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So I guess um, at first, I always thought that was just going to be a hard obstacle to overcome, especially since I was diagnosed at age 9. So I was in fifth grade at the time. And it was kind of hard, especially since the first team I tried out for, I got rejected. I made the team because like I put in so much effort and I was practicing before we even started. But when I got kicked out because I had a like an illness, it just I didn't have any motivation and I was like in a very bad place at the time. But I guess there's something inside me that's like, no, I have to prove them wrong. I have to show everyone that I can do it, just like how they can do it. And I guess that was my blessing in disguise, being a type 1 diabetic.
Yeah, that's that really shows a lot of perseverance too. Um, when I was thinking about this question, um, I also thought about when I first joined the sport, and I wasn't really involved as much, mostly because I didn't like being in the spotlight. And, when you're in a sport, the coach, focuses on you and tries to, form you so you'll be a better athlete. And if you're on a team sport, a better member of that team. And I didn't really want to be noticed. I didn't want any of that. And so when I first joined, I thought, oh no, I don't like this sport. I don't want to do it anymore, just like I'd done with the other sports. But over time, you know, I became accustomed to, being a leader in the boat, like I mentioned before, and it started to make an impression on me, and I started to take on more responsibilities, such as uh, bef- taking on the responsibility of loading up the trailer before we have to travel to regattas. And now I'm the trailer loading leader, and I teach my teammates how to load up the equipment properly and the boats properly so that they can continue it when I graduate. So it's really, really made an impression on me, in athletics, but also in academics, because before I wasn't very motivated to do that much because you know, like I said, I'm naturally a reserved person. I don't like any of that. But when I was put in a position that where I was uncomfortable, being a leader, I was able to do more. And so that motivated me to be more involved with, other honor societies and doing community service with them, or becoming president, vice president, being an officer of my clubs, other clubs that I'm in, and being more involved. And that really, it took its course over time. And now that I'm a senior in high school, I'm able to see, how far I've come from doing almost nothing to, taking on more and more. And, it's really, really benefited me so far.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the thing that surprised me that ended up being a blessing in disguise is just getting way more involved like in my own school. Like before in freshman year, I didn't do a sport. I was just kind of, taking the year to settle in like okay, I'm in high school now, like let's figure this out. And then sophomore year I decided to, join some sports. And after that, the motivation that came from practicing, came from working out, when you see your body changing or when you see success through like your team, it motivates you. And it doesn't just motivate you like yourself, it motivates you to move as a team and to continue to try to better yourself. So like you said, like after that, I was like, okay, what else can we do? Let's create a club. Let's join some more honor societies. I think it just really affects multiple parts of your life. When you get gains in athletics, you want to improve yourself in every aspect. So that's what surprised me.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of benefits. All right, so who has any final words for anyone that's thinking of joining a sport? For me, I would say just join. It's amazing. Whether you're doing it to get scholarships, whether you're getting it to get recognized by a specific college or university, just do it. Even if you don't get recognized, even if your goals don't get accomplished, you will gain so much. Just like the team that you'll be with, they're just amazing. Everyone's amazing. Just join the sport. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely say join a sport. You'll meet people, you'll learn to love those people, you'll better yourself as a person. It's just another way to get involved at your school and to become a more well-rounded person and get you ready for the things that come in life. So I 100% encourage anybody who is out there and is wondering to just go for it, shoot your shot, see what you think, and we're pretty sure that you will not be disappointed. So.
Yeah, definitely. To reiterate what both of you so eloquently put forth, if you're thinking of joining a sport, I encourage you to pursue it wholeheartedly. You can find a sport that you just enjoy or you want to play to get recruited to college or university, like Rakaya mentioned. But remember to be realistic. Uh, you don't want to play a sport for a few months and then you want to stick with it and it'll become a part of your life and your teammates or your coaches, and so pick a sport that you'll stick with for a while, and make sure it also works with not only you but your schedule, because you still have school to manage and any other extracurriculars that you may be involved in, so make sure it works with your schedule. And also important, make a goal, a reason why you're doing the sport so that you'll have something to work towards and also look forward to when the going gets tough, because sports are not easy. And also have a good attitude when you're having a good time with sports and sometimes when you're not having a good time, or it's important that even when you, I don't know, lose a race or maybe you did bad on a test at school, maintain your maintain a good attitude, be of good character and continue to uh, press forward, make progress, and do the best in everything that you do. And even though some things may seem hard at first or impossible, don't worry about it, because most of the time it's just in your mind. So you can do it.
I agree. Just go. Just like go for it. Go ahead. Don't question yourself. You would be amazing. I believe in you. I trust in you. All right. Thank you everyone for attending NSHSS Global Student Voice Series. I'm Rakaya, and I guess we're signing out. Unless anyone else wants to add anything.
Nope, thank you so much for putting this all together. And yeah, so thanks for meeting. Good to meet you guys.
Yep, great to meet everyone. We hope we were able to help you with all that we shared, and God bless.
Yep.